The shuttle approached the massive station slowly. Inside, Sung adjusted his formal jacket for the fifth time. He was nervous, though he tried not to show it. Next to him sat perfectly still, her military training obvious in her posture. They were humanity's first ambassadors to the Galactic Council. 3 years had passed since first contact, and finally they were allowed to attend a council meeting. "Stop fidgeting," said quietly. "You look fine." Sung smiled. "Easy for you to say. You're used to formal events." "I'm used to combat situations. This is just another mission." She looked out the window at the enormous station. "Though I admit, it's impressive." The station was called Unity Hall. It orbited a planet named Axiom Prime, a neutral world where no species held power. The station itself was huge, larger than any human structure. 47 different species sent representatives here. Soon, humanity would make 48. The shuttle docked with a soft thud. Sung stood up, his movements careful in the low gravity. The station kept gravity at 0.4 g, comfortable for most species. For humans used to Earth's 1 g, it felt strange. Everything felt too light, too easy. "Remember the briefing," Sung said. "Move slowly, don't smile too much, don't make sudden movements." "I remember," replied. "We're supposed to act small and harmless." "We are harmless," Sung said. Raised an eyebrow but said nothing. The airlock opened. Beyond it stood 3 aliens. One was tall and thin, with blue skin and 4 arms. Another was short and round, covered in soft fur. The third looked like a floating jellyfish, translucent and glowing slightly. All 3 wore translator devices on their bodies. "Welcome," the tall blue one said. Its voice came through mechanical speakers. "I am, this is, and we will escort you to the medical station first." "Medical station?" Sung asked. "Standard procedure," explained. "All new species must undergo biological scanning for safety purposes." And Sung exchanged glances but nodded. They followed the 3 through the station's wide corridors. Other aliens stopped to stare at them. Some pointed. Others moved away quickly. Sung tried to keep his expression neutral and friendly. The medical station was a large white room filled with strange equipment. A short alien with 6 legs and compound eyes greeted them. "I am Doctor. Please step into the scanner. It will not hurt." Sung went first. He stood in a circular platform while lights moved around him. The scanner hummed and beeped. Then it was turn. She stood perfectly still as the machine worked. Doctor looked at a floating screen, reading the results. His eyes widened. All 6 of them. He made a sound like a chirp mixed with a whistle. The 3 moved closer to read the screen. "This cannot be correct," Doctor said. "The bone density reading. It says 3.2 times standard." "Is that wrong?" Sung asked. 3.2 times means. Doctor tapped the screen several times. "Your skeletons are 3 times denser than average species. This is mineral content we see in armored creatures." Skin turned a darker shade of blue, and the muscle fiber analysis. Efficiency rating of 87%. Most species average 40 to 50%. Doctor scrolled through more data. Redundant organ systems detected. 2 kidneys, 2 lungs, backup blood filtration. "How many of your organs come in pairs?" "Most of them," said simply. "Is that unusual?" "Unusual," the jellyfish-like pulsed with light. "Most species have one of each vital organ. Redundancy is. It's excessive, wasteful evolution." "Or survival advantage," Sung said carefully. "On Earth, redundancy means you can survive injuries that might." Earth interrupted. The report said it has 1.0 g gravity, 1 full g." "Yes," confirmed. "Standard Earth gravity is 1 g. Is that high?" The room went very quiet. The furry one spoke in a small voice. "Most council species evolved under 0.3 to 0.6 g. 1 full g is. We train athletes in those conditions, for short periods only." "Oh," Sung said, He suddenly understood why everyone was starring. So this 0.4G feels. It feels light to us because you live under more than twice this pressure constantly. Finished. The blue alien's 4 arms trembled slightly. You find our standard environment relaxing. Shrugged, it's comfortable, like floating a little. I have to remember not to jump too high or move too fast. Everything feels easier here. Doctor was still reading the scans. Heart muscle density is extraordinary. Lung capacity far exceeds requirements for this atmosphere. The pressure tolerance range shows. He stopped. You can survive in atmospheric pressures from point 0.3 to 2.0 standard. More or less, Sung said. I mean, it's not comfortable at the extremes, but we can function. Function, repeated, her glowing body dimming. Most species die below 0.7 or above 1.3 atmospheres. The temperature tolerance is equally disturbing, Doctor continued. -40 to +50 degrees Celsius. That's a range of 90 degrees. Earth has different climate zones, explained. Humans live in all of them. Deserts, Arctic regions, tropical areas. We adapt. Made a gesture with all 4 arms. It might have been distress. And the radiation resistance levels in your genetic code. What about them? Sung asked. You have multiple DNA repair mechanisms, backup systems for cellular regeneration. Your bodies fight radiation damage actively. Looked at the humans with all 3 of his eyes. What kind of world produces species with these traits? Sung considered how to answer. Earth is active. We have natural disasters, storms, earthquakes, temperature extremes. The sun produces radiation. Life there adapted to survive many different challenges. Active, whispered. The furry alien was backing away slowly. You call that active? The formal term in our files is, said quietly. Earth is classified as a class 12, hostile to 93% of known species. Frowned, but humans find it normal. It's our home. Yes, said, that is what concerns us. The medical examination continued for another hour. Every test revealed something that shocked the alien doctors. Human immune systems attacked thousands of potential threats simultaneously. Human healing rates were 10 times faster than average. Human senses were optimized for hunting and tracking. Human endurance capacity exceeded most species' survival limits. Finally, Doctor stepped back from the scanner. You are cleared for entry to the council chambers, but I must file this report with the safety committee. Your species is unlike anything we have encountered. We're just humans, Sung said. We're not trying to be threatening. You are not trying, agreed. That makes it more frightening. This is simply what you are, casually. The 3 led Sung and toward the council chambers. As they walked, Sung noticed other aliens moving away from them. Some pressed against the walls, others ducked into side corridors. Word of the medical scan results had spread quickly. This is going to be more difficult than we thought, muttered. Sung nodded. They hadn't even reached the meeting yet, and already the entire station seemed afraid of them. He wondered what would happen when they actually started talking about Earth, about human history, about everything that made humanity what it was. The large doors to the council chamber opened ahead of them. Inside, 47 species waited to meet the humans for the first time. Sung took a deep breath and stepped forward, moving carefully in the low gravity. The real test was about to begin. The council chamber was enormous. Rows of seats curved in a half circle, rising up toward the high ceiling. Each seat was designed for a different species. Some were filled with water for aquatic beings. Others had special atmospheres sealed in transparent bubbles. The variety was stunning. 47 pairs of eyes in all different shapes and sizes watched Sung and enter. The humans walked to the designated speaking platform in the center. Every step they took seemed too quick, too powerful. Sung reminded himself again to move slowly. Honored, Sung began, his voice amplified by speakers. I am Ambassador Sung of Earth. This is Lieutenant. We come in peace and friendship, hopping to join your council. A voice boomed from the seats. Before we begin formal discussions, there will be a recess period. All representatives may use this time to refresh themselves and prepare questions. We reconvene in 2 standard hours. The session ended before it really started. Sung felt relieved and disappointed at the same time, touched his arm. They need time to process our medical data. Let them talk among themselves first. Probably wise, Sung agreed. A small alien approached them. She had green skin, large eyes, and walked on 2 legs like humans, but she was barely a meter tall. I am Ho's translation assistant, me son. I will show you to the refreshment area. Thank you, me son, Sung said, careful to speak gently. Me son led them through several corridors to a large open space. It was set up like a cafeteria, with food stations around the edges and seating in the middle. Dozens of aliens were already there, eating and talking in small groups. Conversations stopped when the humans entered. The food synthesizers can create nutrient paste in several flavors, me son explained. Most species find the standard blend satisfactory. Looked at the gray paste being dispensed from a machine. It looked like thick mud. Is there anything else available? Other formulas, me son said, but they are all paste-based. Solid foods are difficult for many species to digest. We brought our own rations, Sung said, pulling out a small container from his bag. We were told we might need to. Earth food is apparently different. May I ask what you brought? Me son seemed genuinely curious, not afraid like the others. Some dried vegetables, rice crackers, and kimchi, said, opening her container as well. Basic travel food. The smell hit the room like a weapon. The kimchi, fermented and spicy, released its distinctive odor into the air. Aliens started coughing. Some made distressed sounds. 3 species near the humans left the room quickly, their breathing apparatus flashing warning lights. What is that? An alien shouted from across the room. It's kimchi, Sung said, confused. Fermented vegetables with spices. It's very common on Earth. A 4-armed alien approached, keeping distance. He held a scanning device. Fermented, you eat decomposed plant matter intentionally. Well, when you say it like that, it sounds bad, said. But yes, fermentation makes food last longer and taste better. The scanner beeped urgently. The 4-armed alien stared at the readout. The chemical compounds in that substance, capsaicin levels, are off the scale. That's a defense chemical. Plants use it to prevent being eaten. Humans like spicy food, Sung explained. The capsaicin creates a pleasant burning sensation. Burning, the alien backed away further. You enjoy pain. It's not really pain, tried to explain. It's more like a warm feeling, stimulating. Capsaicin in those concentrations would cause severe tissue damage to most species, the alien said, his voice rising. You are eating what we would classify as a chemical weapon. Me son was still standing nearby, looking fascinated rather than frightened. What else do humans eat? Sung carefully put his kimchi away, nodding the distress it caused. Many things, fruits, vegetables, grains, meat, fish, we're omnivorous. Meat, a slug-like alien at a nearby table made a sound of disgust. You kill and consume other creatures. Not personally, said. It's farmed, raised specifically for food. But yes, humans eat animal protein. Predators, someone whispered. The word spread through the room like fire. Sung decided to change the subject. Can we drink the water here? The water is purified to universal standards, me son said. But I can offer you other beverages. We have several options. Do you have anything like coffee? Asked hopefully. Coffee? Me son tilted her head. I do not know this word. Pulled out a small sealed bag from her pocket. We brought some, just in case. It's a drink made from roasted seeds, very popular on Earth. Can we use your food synthesizer's hot water function? Of course, Mi-sun seemed eager to see what the humans would do. Prepared 2 cups of coffee using the hot water dispenser. The rich, dark smell filled the air. It was less offensive than the kimchi, but aliens still moved away. Some covered their breathing apparatus. Mi-sun watched as took a long drink and sighed with satisfaction. Is it good? Very good, said. After that long shuttle ride, I needed this. The four-armed alien with the scanner approached again cautiously. He scans coffee. His eyes went wide. No, no, this cannot be right. What's wrong? Sung asked. The alkaloid content. This liquid contains high concentrations of caffeine. He showed the scanner to Mi-sun. Those levels would cause cardiac arrest in most species. It would be lethal to at least 80% of the council. Looked at her coffee cup, then at the alien. Seriously, this is just a normal cup of coffee, not even strong coffee. You drink poison? The alien asked, voluntarily for pleasure. It's not poison to us, Sung said. It just helps us stay alert. Stay alert, the alien repeated, by consuming substances that would kill most other beings. Mi-sun was writing notes on a data pad. She seemed more interested than scared. What other substances do humans consume? Sung thought about it. Well, alcohol in various forms, that's another fermented product. Chocolate, which contains theobromine. Various spices like the capsaicin mentioned. Sugar in high amounts. Salt. Caffeine from different sources. With each item he listed, more aliens moved away from them. The four-armed alien was shaking his head. All of those are toxic compounds. Alcohol is a solvent. Theobromine kills many species. High sugar and salt concentrations cause organ failure. For you maybe, said. For humans, they're just food and drinks. Your biology is designed to process toxins, the alien said. It wasn't a question. It was a statement of horrified realization. I guess so, Sung admitted. We never thought about it that way. On Earth, these are all normal things. A new voice spoke up. It was the tall blue alien from earlier. Tell me about your planet's conditions, the everyday environment you live in. Sung glanced at, she nodded. He should answer honestly. Earth has varied climates. We have regions with extreme heat reaching 50 degrees Celsius in summer. Other regions with extreme cold reaching -40 or lower in winter. Most humans live in temperate zones, with temperatures ranging from -10 to +40 throughout the year. Skin turned darker blue. That temperature variation in one planetary year. Yes, we have seasons. The temperature changes as Earth orbits our sun. Most civilized species modify their environments, said. Climate control, stable conditions. You live with these wild variations naturally. We build shelters, explained. Clothing, heating, cooling systems. But yes, we adapt to our environment rather than completely controlling it. Because your environment is too powerful to control, said quietly. Tell me about natural disasters. What do you mean? Sung asked. Catastrophic events, storms, geological activity. Oh, those happen regularly, Sung said. Hurricanes, typhoons, tornadoes, earthquakes along fault lines, volcanic eruptions, tsunamis in coastal areas, floods, droughts, wildfires. The room had gone completely silent. Every alien was staring at the humans. And you continue living in these areas? Asked. After such disasters? Well, yes, Sung said. Those regions often have advantages. Volcanic soil is very fertile for farming. Coastal areas provide access to ocean resources. We rebuild and adapt. Mi-sun spoke up, her voice small. Your moon. The report mentioned your moon is unusually large. What effect does it have? It creates tides, said. The oceans rise and fall daily. Coastal areas experience regular flooding and retreat of water. The moon causes daily disasters, an alien said from the seats. And you live there anyway. They're not disasters, protested. Tides are natural, predictable. We use them for navigation and fishing. You use the disasters, said. You do not flee them, you incorporate them into your civilization. Sung was starting to understand how aliens saw humanity. Everything that seemed normal on Earth was extreme, dangerous, even deadly from their perspective. They weren't from a normal world. They were from a nightmare world, and they had evolved not just to survive it, but to thrive in it. The 2-hour recess was almost over. Sung and had answered dozens of questions, each answer seeming to frighten the aliens more. As they walked back toward the council chamber, Sung heard whispers following them. Someone said, "They come from and they are apex predators on it." "What does that make them here?" another voice asked. No one had an answer. That seemed to scare them most of all. The council session had just resumed when the alarm started. It was a soft sound at first, barely noticeable. Then it grew louder. Red lights began flashing in the corridors outside the chamber. Sung looked at, who was already on alert, her military training evident. His voice came through the speakers, trying to sound calm but failing. "There is a minor technical issue in Sector 7. All representatives please remain seated while." The alarm changed pitch. Now it was urgent, screaming. More lights flashed. Aliens in the chamber started making sounds of panic. Some stood up. Others curled into protective positions. "Pressure loss in Sector 7, an automated voice announced. "Atmospheric pressure dropping. Current pressure, 0.75 atmospheres. Emergency protocols activated." The chamber doors burst open. Several aliens rushed in, their breathing apparatus flashing warning lights. One collapsed near the entrance. Others were helping each other walk, moving slowly, struggling. "Medical emergency," Mi-sun called out. She was trying to help a large purple alien who was gasping for air. "The pressure drop is affecting everyone in that sector." Sung stood up. "How bad is the pressure loss?" "It has dropped to 0.6 atmospheres," said, his blue skin now almost white with fear. "For most species, this is critical. Below 0.7 is dangerous. Below 0.6 is fatal within minutes." Was already moving toward the door. "Are there still people trapped in that sector?" "Yes," said. "At least 12 representatives, but we cannot send rescue teams. The pressure is too low. We need to wait for emergency suits to arrive from storage." "How long will that take?" Sung asked, following. 15, maybe 20 minutes. "They don't have 20 minutes, said. She was at the door now. "Which way to Sector 7? "You cannot go there," protested. "The pressure will kill you." Looked back at him. 0.6 atmospheres. That's uncomfortable, but it won't kill us. We can function at 0.3 if we have to. Stared at her, so did everyone else in the chamber. "You can survive in those conditions." "We're not delicate," Sung said. "Show us the way." Mi-sun ran forward, data pad in hand. "I will guide you, follow me." They ran through the corridors. Or rather, and Sung ran. In the low gravity, each step carried them forward several meters. They had to consciously slow down to avoid crashing into walls. Mi-sun struggled to keep up, moving as fast as her smaller body could manage in the station's 0.4 G. "Left here," Mi-sun called out. "The sealed door ahead leads to Sector 7. They reached a large bulkhead door. It was closed, locked by emergency protocols. Warning signs flashed. Dangerous atmosphere, no entry without protection. "Examine the door controls. Can you override this?" Mi-sun worked on her data pad. "Yes, but are you certain? The atmosphere beyond is." "We know," Sung said. "Open it." The door slid open with a hiss. Air rushed past them, equalizing pressure. Sung felt his ears pop. His breathing became slightly harder, like being on a high mountain back on Earth. Uncomfortable but manageable. They stepped into Sector 7. The corridor was empty at first. Then they saw them. Aliens lying on the floor, barely moving. Some were unconscious. Others were trying to crawl toward the door but couldn't make it. Sojin is going to be mad we didn't bring medical supplies, muttered. Who is Sojin? Mi-sun asked. Our doctor, she's back on the shuttle. Sung moved to the nearest alien, a small furry creature. Can you hear me? The alien made a weak sound. Sung picked it up carefully. It weighed almost nothing in the low gravity, like holding a small child. I've got you. We're getting you out. Had already picked up 2 aliens, one under each arm. They were both unconscious. She moved quickly back toward the door. Mi-sun, tell medical to prepare for casualties. Mi-sun was speaking rapidly into her communicator in a language Sung didn't understand. She seemed shocked that the humans were moving around normally in the dangerous atmosphere. Sung carried the furry alien to the sealed door and handed it to waiting medical staff on the other side. Then he went back in. There were more to rescue. The next alien was larger, maybe 50 kilograms. Sung lifted it easily. In the low gravity, it felt like lifting a bag of groceries. He carried it out quickly. Was ahead of him, deeper in the sector. She had found the worst area. 3 aliens were trapped under a collapsed ceiling panel. The panel was large, made of some lightweight metal, but it had pinned them down. Help me with this, called. Sung reached the panel. Together they grabbed the edge. They lifted. The panel was heavy even in low gravity, maybe designed to take more weight in higher G environments. But with both of them lifting, it came up easily. Too easily. Sung nearly threw it across the corridor. Careful, said. We're stronger here than on Earth. They pulled the 3 aliens out from under the panel. All 3 were unconscious. Picked up 2 of them. Sung took the 3rd and they carried them back to the safe zone. Medical teams were everywhere now. Aliens with breathing equipment were helping the rescued representatives. Doctor, the 6-legged doctor from earlier, was directing the emergency response. Are there more? Doctor asked when he saw the humans emerge again. We're checking, Sung said, and went back into Sector 7. They found 4 more aliens in various rooms along the corridor. One was in a sealed water tank that had somehow maintained pressure. Another was in a small storage area. Sung and brought them all out, moving quickly, efficiently. Their military and rescue training showed in every action. Finally, they had everyone. 12 aliens rescued, all receiving medical attention. The pressure in Sector 7 was slowly being restored by the station's emergency systems. Sung leaned against a wall, breathing a bit harder than normal. That was interesting. Nodded, uncomfortable but not terrible, like running at high altitude. Doctor approached them with his scanner. He waved it over both humans. You are both barely affected. Slight oxygen debt, minor stress indicators, nothing serious. We told you we could handle it, said. You did not just handle it, Doctor said, his compound eyes all focused on them. You functioned normally in conditions that nearly killed 12 other beings, and you carried them. Some of those aliens weigh 40, 50 kilograms. You carried multiple individuals at once, while operating in dangerous atmosphere, in a rescue situation requiring quick thinking and coordination. It's what we do, Sung said simply. People needed help. Mi-sun was staring at them with something like wonder. On Earth, is this normal? Do humans do this often? Rescue operations, yes, said. Fires, earthquakes, floods, accidents, we help each other, that's normal. A crowd had gathered. Aliens from all over the station had come to see what happened. They watched as the humans stood there, barely tired, while medical teams worked frantically to save the beings they had rescued. Approached slowly. All 4 of his arms were trembling. You saved them. Without protection, without hesitation, you entered a death zone and saved 12 council members. It wasn't a death zone for us, Sung pointed out, just uncomfortable. Uncomfortable, repeated. He looked at the other who had gathered. They casually survived our critical emergency conditions. They lifted debris that would require our industrial equipment. They carried multiple individuals simultaneously over distances. and they call it uncomfortable. Are any of them seriously hurt? Asked, looking at the rescued aliens. They will recover, Doctor assured her. Thanks to your intervention, minutes longer in those conditions and we would have lost several of them. Then it was worth it, Sung said. An alarm sounded again, but different this time. The pressure had been restored to Sector 7. The sector was now safe. The crisis was over. Gestured toward the council chamber. Perhaps we should return. We have much to discuss. As they walked back, Sung noticed the way aliens looked at them now. It was still fear, but different. They were afraid, yes, but also something else. Respect, awe, he wasn't sure. Inside the chamber, the session resumed, but the atmosphere had changed completely. Before, the council had seen humans as dangerous predators from a nightmare world. Now they had seen what humans could do with that strength. A tall alien with crystalline features stood to speak. I wish to address the humans directly. You risked yourselves to save council members. Why? Because they needed help, Sung said, confused by the question. What else would we do? You could have waited for proper equipment. You could have let trained rescue teams handle it. People were dying, said. We had the ability to help. We helped. It's simple. Simple, the crystalline alien repeated. You faced death simply. It wasn't really that dangerous for us, Sung tried to explain. We're built to handle stress. Our bodies, our minds. Evolution made us survivors, but that doesn't mean we only use it for ourselves. Mi-sun spoke up from her seat. If I may offer perspective, honored council, I observed the humans during the crisis. They did not hesitate. They did not calculate risk versus reward. They saw beings in danger and immediately moved to help. This is not predator behavior. This is protector behavior. The chamber was silent. Aliens were thinking about Mi-sun's words. They are strong because their world demanded strength, Mi-sun continued. But they are kind by choice. That combination is what makes them remarkable. Stood, his blue skin had returned to its normal color. The vote on humanity's application will be held tomorrow. Tonight, let us all reflect on what we have witnessed, not just the humans' physical capabilities, but their character. The session adjourned. As Sung and left the chamber, dozens of aliens thanked them. Some touched their hands carefully, a gesture of respect. Others simply bowed. I think, said quietly, we might have just changed their minds about us. Maybe, Sung agreed. Or maybe we just scared them in a different way. Either way, they won't forget today. No, Sung thought, they definitely wouldn't forget. The morning session started quietly. Too quietly. Sung could feel the tension in the council chamber. Yesterday's rescue had changed something, but he wasn't sure what exactly. The aliens still watched them carefully, still kept their distance. But now there was curiosity mixed with the fear. Stood at the central podium. Before we proceed to the vote on humanity's application, the council has questions. We must understand Earth and its people better. We're happy to answer anything, Sung said. A reptilian alien with green scales stood up. Your world is unified now. Your species speaks with one voice through representatives like you, but the historical records show this is recent, very recent. How did humanity achieve unification? Sung glanced at. She gave him a small nod. They had prepared for this question, but the answer wasn't easy. Humanity was divided for most of our history, Sung began. Different nations, different governments, different beliefs. Wars were common. All species have conflict in their early development, the reptilian said. But you mentioned wars, plural. How many wars did humanity fight? Thousands, Sung admitted. Throughout our recorded history, small conflicts, large conflicts, 2 major global wars in the last century before unification. The chamber filled with shocked sounds. Aliens whispered to each other. Translators struggled to keep up with the sudden burst of conversation. Raised his hands for silence. Global wars, conflicts involving your entire planet. Yes, confirmed. The last major war ended about 80 years before we unified. It involved most nations on Earth. Millions died. How did you fight these wars? Another alien asked. With what weapons? This was the part Sung dreaded. We should contact our historian for detailed information. Would you allow us to connect to our ship? Approved, said. A hologram appeared next to Sung. It showed a middle-aged Korean man with gray hair and glasses. I am Jin Ho, historian specializing in human military history. I understand you have questions about our conflicts. Yes, said. Please explain how humanity waged war. Jin Ho took a deep breath. I will provide a summary, but understand that human warfare evolved over thousands of years. Early conflicts used simple weapons, swords, spears, bows. Later, we developed gunpowder weapons, firearms, explosives, then chemical weapons, biological weapons. The chamber went silent. Several aliens stood up, alarmed. You created weapons to poison your enemies, the crystalline alien asked, to spread disease. Yes, Jin Ho said simply. We eventually banned most of them through international agreements, but they existed. Some still exist. What else? His voice was quiet. What other weapons did humanity create? Jin Ho paused. He looked at Sung, who nodded. Tell them the truth. Nuclear weapons, Jin Ho said. Devices that split atoms, releasing enormous energy. A single weapon could destroy an entire city. We developed thousands of them. The silence was absolute. No one moved, no one spoke. Finally, Mi-sun's small voice broke the quiet. Did you use these weapons? Twice in warfare, Jin Ho said. At the end of the Second Global War, 2 cities were destroyed. Hundreds of thousands died immediately. More died later from radiation. The horror of those weapons helped push humanity toward eventual peace. You still have these weapons? An alien asked. Some nations retained small arsenals, Jin Ho admitted. They were seen as deterrents. The fear of mutual destruction kept major powers from fighting each other. When Earth unified, most nuclear weapons were dismantled, but the knowledge remains. Sat down slowly. All 4 of his arms hung limp. You created weapons that could end your own species, and you built thousands of them. Yes, Jin Ho said. It was not our proudest moment, but we learned, eventually. Eventually, repeated. After millions died, after cities were destroyed, after you came to the edge of extinction. That's correct, Sung said. We make mistakes, terrible mistakes, but we learn from them. That's part of being human. A small, mouse-like alien spoke up. You said you banned chemical and biological weapons, but you created them first. Why would you make such things? Desperation, said. Fear. The belief that our enemies would use them if we didn't. It's not rational, but war rarely is. Jin Ho continued. I should mention that even before nuclear weapons, humanity developed industrial warfare. We built machines specifically for killing. Tanks, aircraft, submarines, missiles. We became very efficient at destroying each other. And now, the reptilian alien asked, what weapons does humanity possess today? Mostly defensive systems, Jin Ho said. Orbital defense platforms, emergency response equipment. We maintain a small military force, but it's focused on rescue operations and disaster response now. The weapons of our past are mostly in museums. Mostly, an alien noted. Not entirely. We're not naive, said. The galaxy is large. We don't know what's out here. So yes, we keep some defensive capability, but our weapons are not pointed at each other anymore. Mi-sun spoke again. I have a different question about human endurance. The rescue yesterday showed impressive physical capability, but I read reports about human persistence. What is persistence hunting? Sung wasn't sure why she was changing subjects, but he was grateful. Persistence hunting is an ancient human technique. Before we had advanced weapons, we hunted by chasing prey. Chasing? Mi-sun asked. You mean tracking? No chasing, Sung explained. We would find an animal and run after it. The animal would run away faster than us initially, but we would keep following. Hours would pass. The animal would tire, need to rest, but humans would keep coming. Eventually, the animal would be too exhausted to run anymore. Then we would catch it. The chamber was silent again, but this time the silence felt different, more horrified. You would chase prey until it died of exhaustion, an alien asked. Essentially, yes, said. Humans can run for very long periods. We cool our bodies by sweating, which is very efficient. Most animals overheat quickly when running. We don't. We just keep going. How long can humans run? Mi-sun asked. Depends on training, said. Average humans can run for 30 minutes to an hour. Trained runners can go for hours. Ultramarathon runners can run for 24 hours straight. Some have run for days. Days, someone whispered. They can pursue prey for days. We don't do that anymore, Sung added quickly. Persistence hunting is ancient history, but yes, human endurance is exceptional. We evolved for it. Jinho spoke up again. If I may add context, human military training includes endurance exercises. Soldiers routinely march 50 kilometers while carrying 40 kilograms of equipment. This is considered basic training. 50 kilometers, asked. That is the distance between our major cities on Mai. You walk that distance while carrying half your body weight. Not walk, march, corrected. At a steady pace, usually completed in 8 to 10 hours. It's standard. Most species cannot travel 50 kilometers in their lifetime, the crystalline alien said. You do it in a day, carrying heavy loads as basic training. Human soldiers are trained to operate without sleep for extended periods, Jinho continued. 48 to 72 hours is expected during emergencies. Some special forces can operate effectively for up to 5 days with minimal rest. 5 days without sleep. An alien made a sound of disbelief. That would cause permanent brain damage to most species. It's not pleasant for humans either, Sung said. But we can do it if necessary. Our brains have mechanisms to keep functioning even when exhausted. Mi-sun was writing notes frantically. So human soldiers can run for hours, march for days, operate without sleep, carry heavy loads, and survive injuries that would kill others. And this is standard. Standard for military, confirmed. But even civilians have impressive endurance. Humans regularly exercise for recreation. Running, swimming, climbing. We do it for fun. For fun, an alien repeated. You voluntarily stress your bodies to extremes for enjoyment. Exercise releases chemicals in our brains that make us feel good, Sung explained. Endorphins. The pain of exertion becomes pleasure. You have biological rewards for pushing yourselves to the edge of survival, said. Your evolution encourages self-destructive behavior. Not self-destructive, protested. Self-improving. Exercise makes us stronger, healthier, it's beneficial. From your perspective, said. From ours, you are describing species-wide masochism. Jinho cleared his throat. If I may offer final context, humanity survived on Earth by being relentless. We couldn't outrun predators in short sprints. We couldn't overpower them with strength, but we could outlast anything. We could keep going when everything else stopped. That trait helped us survive. It's who we are. The hologram faded as Jinho disconnected. The chamber remained quiet. Finally, the reptilian alien spoke. Let me ensure I understand correctly. Humanity comes from a world that actively tries to kill them. They evolved to survive anything. They can eat poison, breathe in marginal atmospheres, endure extreme temperatures, and pursue prey until it dies of exhaustion. They created weapons capable of ending their species and came close to using them. They trained their warriors to function beyond all reasonable biological limits. And now they want to join our council. Yes, Sung said, that's accurate. Why? The alien asked. Why do you want to join us? You could simply take what you want. Your species is clearly capable of it. Because that's not who we are anymore, Sung said firmly. Yes, we're capable of terrible things. Our history proves that. But we're also capable of incredible kindness. We chose peace. We chose cooperation. We chose to reach out to the stars not as conquerors but as friends. Yesterday proved that, Mi-sun said. They saved our people without thought for themselves. That is not conqueror behavior. Or, another alien said, they saved us to show us they can, to demonstrate their superiority. Stood up her voice sharp. If we wanted to demonstrate superiority, we do it through force. That's not why we helped. We helped because it's right, because beings were suffering and we could stop it. That's all. The council chamber fell quiet again. Sung could see aliens looking at each other, communicating silently. They were afraid, but they were also intrigued. The vote will be tomorrow, announced. Council is adjourned. As they left, Sung felt drained. They had revealed so much of humanity's dark past. The wars, the weapons, the capacity for destruction. Would it be enough to damn them? Or would the council see past the fear to the hope humanity represented? Only tomorrow would tell. The final day arrived. Sung barely slept the night before, thinking about everything that had happened. The medical scans, the shocked reactions to human food, the rescue operation, the revelation about human warfare. Each moment had shown the council a different aspect of humanity, but which aspect would they remember when voting? Seemed calm, but Sung knew her well enough to see the tension in her shoulders. They walked together to the council chamber one last time. Other aliens in the corridors still moved away from them, but now some nodded in acknowledgement. A small gesture, but meaningful. Inside the chamber, all 47 were present. The seats were full. This was the moment. Humanity's application would be accepted or rejected. There would be no second chance. Stood at the central podium. We have deliberated through the night. Many perspectives were shared. Before we vote, council members may speak their positions. The reptilian alien stood first. I speak against acceptance. The humans are dangerous. They admitted to creating world-ending weapons. They come from a nightmare world that shaped them into apex predators. Yes, they saved our people during the emergency, but predators also protect their territory. We cannot know their true intentions. Several aliens made sounds of agreement. Sung felt his heart sink. Another alien stood, this one with tentacles instead of arms. I also speak against acceptance, but for different reasons. If we accept humanity, other species will expect the same standard. Can we protect ourselves if conflict arises? Their strength is too great. The risk is too high. More sounds of agreement. The vote was not looking good. Then Mi-sun stood. Her small form seemed even tinier in the large chamber. I speak for acceptance. I have observed these humans closely. Yes, they are strong. Yes, they are capable of violence. But they are also capable of great compassion. They did not have to enter Sector 7. They chose to. They did not have to risk themselves. They chose to. Choice defines them more than capability. Choice can change, the tentacled alien argued. Today they choose peace. Tomorrow they might choose war. That is true of any species, Mi-sun countered. We all have capacity for violence. The difference is that humans acknowledge it. They don't pretend to be harmless. They admit their flaws and work to overcome them. That honesty is valuable. The crystalline alien rose. I wish to share a perspective. I researched Earth's history last night, not just the wars, but everything. Do you know what I found? Art, music, literature, philosophy. Humans create beauty even while living in horror. They build gardens in their nightmare world. They find joy despite constant threat. This is not predator behavior. This is something more complex. It is survival behavior, the reptilian alien said. They need beauty to cope with their harsh reality. Perhaps, the crystalline one agreed. But they also share that beauty freely. Their art, their music, their stories, they offer it to others. That is generosity born from suffering. They know darkness intimately, yet choose light. That choice matters. Spoke, I will share my position. I am afraid of humanity. I admit this openly. They are stronger than us, more resilient, more capable of violence. But I am more afraid of humanity as enemies than as allies. If we reject them now, we create resentment. We tell them they are too dangerous to join civilized species. What message does that send? That we have standards, the reptilian said. That we are cowards, corrected. We see their strength and hide from it rather than embracing it. Every species here has something unique to offer the Council. Humanity's offering is their endurance, their resilience, their capacity to survive anything. Why would we reject that? Because they might turn those traits against us, someone said. They might, agreed, but they have not. 3 years of observation showed no aggression, only curiosity and desire for friendship. Yesterday showed us their character under pressure. They saved our people without hesitation. Actions speak louder than potential threats. An aquatic alien in a water-filled sphere spoke, their voice bubbling through translators. I have a question for the human representatives. If we vote no, what will humanity do? Sung stood. He had hoped to avoid this question, but it was fair. We will be disappointed. We will return to Earth and report the decision. Then we'll continue as we have been, developing our world, exploring our local space, existing peacefully. We won't attack you. We won't seek revenge. We'll just continue living. And if a future threat emerges, the aquatic alien pressed, if the Council faces danger, would humanity help us even if we rejected you? Sung looked at, she nodded. Yes, Sung said. If you called for help, we would come. That's who we are. Rejection doesn't change our values. Even if we called you dangerous, called you monsters. Even then, confirmed. We've been called worse by our own people throughout history. Words don't change what's right. The chamber went silent. Several aliens seemed surprised by the answer. Mi-sun spoke again. That is exactly my point. They offer unconditional friendship. How rare is that? How valuable? The reptilian alien sat down, looking thoughtful. Others were whispering among themselves. Raised his hands. It is time to vote. The question before the Council, should humanity be granted membership with full rights and privileges? All in favor, illuminate your console green. All opposed, illuminate red. Abstentions remain dark. The chamber lights dimmed. 47 consoles glowed in the darkness. Sung watched as colors appeared, green lights, red lights. Some consoles stayed dark. The counting felt like it took forever. Sung held his breath. Next to him was perfectly still. Finally spoke. The vote is complete. 23 in favor, 17 opposed, 7 abstentions. Humanity's application for Council membership is accepted. Sung felt relief wash over him, let out a breath she'd been holding. They had done it. Humanity was now part of the Galactic Council. But the celebration felt muted. 23-17 was close, very close. Nearly half the Council had voted against them. Continued. However, special protocols will be established. Human-compatible zones will be marked clearly. Human food and drink will require warning labels. All Council members will receive briefings on human biology and capabilities. These measures are for everyone's safety and comfort. We understand, Sung said. We'll follow any protocols you establish. There is one more thing, said. The Council requests that humanity provide military assistance if called upon in emergencies. Your unique capabilities make you valuable as allies in crisis situations. Like yesterday, Mi-sun added, when normal rescue teams cannot respond, humans can. Straightened, we're willing to help, but we won't be your soldiers. If you need rescue teams, disaster response, emergency assistance, we'll provide it. But we won't fight your wars. That is acceptable, said. The Council understands humanity's reluctance toward warfare given your history. The formal session ended. As aliens began filing out of the chamber, several approached Sung and the crystalline alien came first. Welcome to the Council, they said. I voted in favor. Your species intrigues me. I hope we can learn from each other. Thank you, Sung said. We hope so too. Mi-sun approached, smiling. Congratulations, I knew they would accept you. The vote was close, noted. Fear is strong, Mi-sun said, but it can be overcome. You'll see. Once other species get to know humans, they'll be less afraid. Or more afraid, Sung joked, when they learn about our hobbies. Hobbies? Mi-sun tilted her head. Rock climbing, deep-sea diving, skydiving, extreme sports. Humans do dangerous things for fun. Mi-sun's eyes widened. I will research these things for science. Even the reptilian alien who had argued against them approached. I still think you're dangerous, but I voted yes in the end. You know why? Why? Sung asked. Because you admitted it. You didn't pretend to be harmless. You told us the truth about your weapons, your history, your capabilities. That honesty is worth something. Just, please don't prove me wrong. We'll do our best, promised. The chamber slowly emptied. Finally, only Mi-sun, Sung, and remained. You should know, said quietly, the real debate wasn't about your capabilities. It was about fear versus hope. Fear of what you might become versus hope for what you might offer. Hope won, but barely. We understand, Sung said. We'll work to build trust. See that you do, said. Because next time a vote comes up, the results might be different. If humans make mistakes, show aggression, fail to keep their word, the council will remember. One chance is all you get. One chance is all we need, said confidently. Skin shifted to a lighter blue. I hope you're right, truly I do, because I voted yes as well. Your presence scares me, but your absence scares me more. They left the chamber together. As they walked through the station toward their shuttle, Sung noticed something different. Aliens still moved away from them, but not as frantically. Some met their eyes briefly before looking away. One brave small alien even waved at them from behind its parent. Waved back, smiling broadly, showing her teeth. The child's parent quickly pulled them away, but the child kept looking back, curious rather than terrified. This is going to take time, Sung observed. Everything worth doing takes time, replied. We have plenty of that. Back at their shuttle, they prepared for departure. Sojin, their doctor, greeted them eagerly. Well, how did it go? We're in, Sung said. Barely, but we're in. They're afraid of us, added, but they voted yes anyway. Sojin nodded. Good. Fear can become respect with time, and respect can become friendship. Philosophical today, doctor, Sung teased. I've been researching council species, Sojin said. Their medical needs, their biology. If we're going to be members, I want to be prepared to help them. Just because we're terrifying doesn't mean we can't be good neighbors. The shuttle departed from Unity Hall. Through the viewport, Sung watched the massive station grow smaller. Inside that station, 47 species were probably discussing humanity right now, debating what they had done, wondering if they had made the right choice. Do you think we'll prove them right? Sung asked. About trusting us. Considered the question. We come from hell. We evolved in nightmare conditions. We created weapons that could end worlds. All of that is true. But we also learned to create beauty, to help each other, to choose peace over war. That's true too. So which truth defines us? Both, said. We're complicated. We're capable of terrible things and wonderful things. The council will learn that. Some will always be afraid, but others will see past the fear to what we really are. And what are we? Sung asked. Smiled. Survivors who learn to care, predators who chose to protect, who build gardens. We're human, that's enough. The shuttle entered faster than light travel, carrying them back toward Earth. Behind them, the Galactic Council continued its eternal debates. Ahead of them, humanity's future among the stars waited to be written. And somewhere in Unity Hall, a small alien child asked their parent, "Why are the humans scary?" The parent considered the question carefully before answering. because they come from a terrible place and became strong, but they use that strength to help others. So perhaps they're not really scary at all. Perhaps they're just different. Can I be friends with them? The child asked. The parent looked toward where the human shuttle had departed. Perhaps, someday, if we're brave enough to try. In the darkness of space, two traveled home, carrying with them the hopes and fears of 47 species. They had walked into a council meeting and left everyone frightened. But they had also left everyone thinking. And sometimes, that was enough to change everything.